me take time and I write down all the things that I love on my island. Best believe my list gon' be like 5 miles long. Best believe it's love that makes me sing this song. The cleanest breeze on the waters, friendly people meet in every corner. Togetherness and love is what we stand for. We stand for. We stand for.
Oh, island in the sun. Look at how we've grown, how far we've run. 50 years we strong and more to come. More to come. More to come. We're going higher. 50 years we're blessed with forged in fire. Still reaching for more. Going up, going up, 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 up. Going up, going up, going up, 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 up.
We're going higher. Going higher. As we aspire, build advances, put people together.
Bang, bang, bang.
It's only up from
It might take time to reminisce on the richness of our history from the beginning. From the people who came through sugar and change, emancipation to revolution. More than the speck up on the globe, more than the ice cream and gold, much more than the nutmeg and the clove. Tell the world we are Grenadians. Oh.
3 islands united as one, blessed with the strength to carry on. We're more than just that island in the sun. Tell the world we are Grenadians.
Higher, 50 years we're blessed with force and fire. Oh, you mean? We going up, going up, going up, 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 going up, going up, going up, 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 up. Aspire, build advances, want people together. Going up, going up, going up, 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 up. Going up, going up, going up, 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 up.
Really and truly, can't find the words to describe what my country mean to me. So much things we take for granted, but so much things they give to me.
Peace and tranquility, family, community. You no matter where I go in the world, just know that home is where my heart is.
50 years, as you shake for 50 more.
Yes, indeed. And that's the message. We are going up 50 years and we are going up, up, up. We are striving for betterment. We are striving for excellence as a country, as a people, and remaining focused, operating, functioning with a master plan, with a map. This is where we are, but this is where we are going. This is where we want to be in the next 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years from today. I want to welcome you wherever you are. Maybe you're out there in the diaspora. Maybe you're here in Grenada, Carriacou, and the PT Martinique, and you're locked on to the program. I want to encourage those on Facebook and YouTube, please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to start off today, this morning, by saying we have a government that cares about the Grenadian people. And once you have a government that is people-focused, people-centered, your country will be more peaceful, your country will be more prosperous, and the people will be happier. The NDC during the campaign made it very clear we will address the minimum wage in the country, because by law, every 3 years, the whole minimum wage order should be issued. So there should be a review, there should be consultation with different stakeholders, and the minimum wage should be adjusted Because remember, the rate of inflation will be changed or constantly changing. Prices of goods and services, that is going up, but it can also go down. But generally speaking, we would see that going up and up. So you have to bring the salaries to a certain level so that we all can exist. So you work and you earn your daily bread. But here it is. The NNP was in power for 23 years and a half, and they did not adjust the minimum wage at any point in time. So security officers under the NNP time was working for $4 an hour. $4, 4 EC. I'm not talking about US, I am talking about EC. $4 an hour. So a Caribbean or a stag cost $5 EC in the ordinary shops. A security officer was working for $4, and that $4 couldn't get them a stag or a Caribbean, right? And some may argue at that time the Caribbean was $4. Okay, well, at least he could have gotten them just that. But for a whole hour, they had to work to get that under the NNP. Under the NDC, the previous NDC, they increased that $4 per hour for security officers to $8 per hour. But remember, the NNP was in power for 23 years and a half. They did not increase the security officers, the cleaners, the cooks, the agriculture worker, the carpenter. They did not increase or adjusted the minimum wage for these categories of workers. They could have cared less about the workers of this country. The NDC came in and they addressed the security officers. They say, hey, you all are working hard. We're going to increase your hourly wage to $8, 100% increase. And you know, as I talk about that, my mind goes back to some of the union leaders, right? They have been there for years, functioning under the NNP. And that was something that they should have called for loudly when the NNP was in power. So sometimes you believe that they have your interests as workers, but really and truly, they don't. Because that was something that they should have been championing, because the law says every 3 years there should be some adjustment, some review. And the NNP refused. They were not adjusting the minimum wage. But the union leaders remained quiet. They said nothing about that. But here, the minimum wage will be adjusted come the 1st of January 2024. We have not heard, or at least I have not heard, those union leaders come out publicly and applaud this government for adjusting the minimum wage. This is a campaign promise that the NDC made, and they are fulfilling that before our very eyes. But we have not heard the union men and women come out publicly and acknowledge this good that the NDC again has done. And look, I say to people, it is all okay to condemn. It is all okay to criticize. It is all okay to go on the news and give government blows. Okay, But it is also good to come out publicly and praise or applaud government when they do good. So there's a balancing act, and people will have more respect for you that way. So under the NNP, the minimum wage was not even a discussion. But the NDC cares about people. The NDC is pro-worker. The NDC wants good for the working man and woman. So what they did is to adjust the minimum wage. So what I will do is to share with you what it was, or because we have how many days again? 13 more days till the end of the year. We still operating under what used to be. We're still operating on the current minimum wage. When January the 1st comes, then everything else would change. That would change. The minimum wage order will come into effect. That's the 2024 order. It will come into effect January the 1st. So let me share with you what it used to be, making the comparison, because it's so important that we compare, because people need to know that this is a big thing for a lot of people in this country. It's a big thing, and a lot of workers will be impacted. All right, let me see this here. Trying to open, right, good. So I have what stands now compared to what will come into effect January the 1st, 2024. All right. So let me share with you, because I think you need to know. You need to know what is there now and what will come into effect January 2024. So let us first look at some of the workers or categories. So let's start with the industrial workers, garment industry, that kind of thing. Machine mechanics, cutters, machine operators, cleaners, packers, that's in the garment industry. All right. So by law, what stands now in Grenada? A person who is a machine mechanic, that person by law cannot be paid less than $85 per day. All right? The cutters by law, as it stands now, cannot receive less than $60 per day. Machine operators by law, as it stands now, cannot receive $45 per day. Right? Less than $45 per day. Cleaners, packers cannot receive less than $35 per day. When January comes, machine mechanics cannot receive less than $100 per day. So they move from $85 to $100. Cutters cannot receive less than $85 per day. So they move from $60 to $85. Machine operators, as it stands now, $45. They cannot receive anything less than $45 per day. Come January, it will be $70. So they can't receive less than $70 per day. Cleaners, as it stands now, it's $35. They cannot receive less than $35. But when January comes, it will be $60. They can't receive less than $60 per day. This is significant for these workers because there are some employer who actually pays based on the minimum wage order. There are some employers. So remember, the minimum wage means that you can't work for less than this amount. The minimum. Anybody who is paying you less than that will be committing an offense. All right? But you can be paid more. You can receive more. It doesn't mean that it will change what you are receiving if you are receiving more, No. Nope. So there are some, let's say, clerical workers who might be receiving $1,200 per month. The minimum wage order as it stands now says $900 per month. All right? For St. George's, St. Andrew, Carriacou, and then all other parishes, $700. That is what it says now. But there are some who might be receiving $1,200 per month or $1,300 per month. The minimum wage order that will come into effect January the 1st says that a clerical worker or administrative assistant or cashier or receptionist will not receive less than $1,200 per month. But that doesn't mean to say that you can't continue receiving your $1,500 per month or your $1,600 per month. What it actually says is that you cannot receive less than $1,200. But by law now, right, for the next 13 days, what stands is the law. It says that a clerical assistant or a cashier or a receptionist in St. George, St. Andrew, Carriacou can't receive less than $900 per month. In all other parishes, can't receive less than $700 per month. All right? So that will change come January the 1st. It will move to you can't receive less than $1,200 per month. So the people who are receiving $900 or $1,000, that must increase to $1,200 or more. So a person who is collecting $1,500 per month, your money will not go down to $1,200. So I hope you understand that, because the NNP is out there saying to you, well, your money will drop to that because they want to scare you. You have to understand what minimum wage speaks to. It's not the maximum, right? It's the minimum. You can't get less than this amount. So there are people in the Indian stores and the Syrian stores and, working in different business places who are collecting some $800 a month or $900 a month. That would change. All right? So a lady met me and she said to me, she works at the Home for the Aged. In fact, she met me on Friday at my favorite spot. And she said, Kem Jones, well, come January, we will be getting more. I said, how much you're working for? She said, we are working for just a little above $700 a month, right? So she's actually working for just about $700 and something dollars, $800 when they take out NIS. It's about $700 and something dollars. And she's saying, come next month, January, her salary will increase significantly. But when I go back and I look at the minimum wage order that stands now by law, she's entitled to $700 per month. Yeah. Caregivers of the elderly, including homes for the aged. Yeah. $700 per month. Right? So the new minimum wage order says that the same person, this elderly, that person who works in the elderly home is entitled to no less than $1,400. So it will be doubled. And she's excited. She's excited because come January, her salary will move from just a little above $700 to $1,400 or more. So they can't pay her less. So if you're working in the home for the age, or if you're taking care of an elderly person, so let's say you're sleeping in and you're cleaning, you're taking care of a person, elderly person in a home. It could be private, it could be the home for the age and so on. You cannot, your employer cannot pay you less than $1,400 per month. So it's not just the what is one of them homes? Richmond Home. Is it Richmond Hill Home or Richmond Home? Well, they normally call it a poor house, but I think it's the Richmond Hill Home or something like that, or the Hillsview Home for another example. So not just the workers there that will be impacted. If you being, that person who takes care of Tanti Jane down the road in a private house. So let's say the children of Tanti Jane is paying you to take care of Tanti Jane, or Tanti Jane is paying you to take care of her because you reach a certain age and you go in, you're cleaning, you're cooking, you're washing, you're making sure that Tanti Jane's smelling good and, happy, and you're making sure that she's okay. You must be paid more than $1,400 come January the 1st. So they can't pay you less than $1,400. So they could pay you $1,400 or anything more. That is how impactful the minimum wage order is for our people. So when this lady told me that, I was very happy for her. And it's the same thing for early childhood workers. It's the same thing for early childhood workers. All right? And I am again repeating, the minimum wage order is not saying that the employer has to pay you exactly what the minimum wage order says. It's just simply put, they can't pay you less than what the minimum wage order says. They can't pay you less, but they could pay you far more. And if you are being paid more as it stands now, your employer cannot just go and take out the $200 and bring it down to X, Y, and Z. No. Nope. So again, I hope you understand what the minimum wage order means. So a person who works in an Indian store, a Syrian store for $35 per day, they will be entitled to $60 or more, no less than that per day. All right? So you have to kind of understand what is happening here. A person who is a cook, maybe in a school, maybe in some restaurant or wherever, you are entitled to $9.50 per hour or more, not less. All right? So remember that. A security officer, you are entitled come January the 1st to $9.25 or more. There are some security officers who will get more, right? So it doesn't mean that you have to get exactly that. You can get far more. But what is significant here is that the NNP never adjusted the minimum wage to guarantee that you will get more. And if they did that, I am convinced that by now your wages would have been way higher. Because remember, every 3 years, they have to adjust the minimum wage. Even if it's by $1 or $10 or $5, they have to adjust it based on the rate of inflation and based on reality, right? Imagine NNP was in power for 23 years and a half. Do you know how much adjustment that's supposed to have taken place under the NNP? Do the math. Every 3 years. So in 10 years, at least 3 times. So you have 3 plus 3, that's 6 times plus another 3. So that's about 8 times, right? The NNP should have adjusted the minimum wage for the working people of the country at least 8 times during their time in power. But they never did. The NDC is there now, and they are adjusting the minimum wage. But imagine the NDC in power for 20 years. The minimum wage, your minimum wage, the money that you're working for, will be adjusted about 6 times. And that's good for workers and also for employers. Because now you can demand more productivity, more efficiency, right? So you have to understand this thing in the broader context. The NNP refuse to adjust the minimum wage because they want you to remain poor. They want you to continue to work for very little. The NNP refused over the last 20-something years, or the last 20-something years that they were in power, the same Keith Mitchell, the same NNP, they never saw the need to adjust the minimum wage, although the law says that it must be done, that it should be done. But you know, the NNP has always been lawless. They never applied the law. They just whooping. And it took the NDC, this young team of men and women, to come and adjust the minimum wage. This is big for our working people. And I'm saying this because you have a government that is for you, the working man and working woman. We saw the NDC during their campaign. They said, even if they had to take a loan to pay the pension and the gratuity, they will take it to pay, to honor that commitment. When they came into power, because remember, the NNP was saying, if you pay the pension and the gratuity, it will bankrupt the economy. It will crash everything, because we need $1.2 billion to pay the pension and the gratuity. When the NDC came into power, it only took $75.1 million to pay the pensioners, to pay the people who were owed their pension and their gratuity. From $1.2 billion. And then the NNP, when people were catching up with them, when Grenadians realized them numbers and make sense, that they were lying for the Grenadian people, they turned around and said it would cost Grenada $465 million to pay the pension and the gratuity, the retroactive pension and gratuity, and every year $120 million. Yep. When the NDC came into power, it only took $75.1 million to pay the pension and the gratuity. So the NDC is a team that you can trust. They told you that they would adjust the minimum wage during the campaign too. And now you're seeing it come into life. They're delivering on that promise. They told you during the campaign that they will pay twice per month by monthly salary payments. The NNP said it's not feasible. if you go ahead and pay twice per month, there would be a lot of administrative issues, real problems. Well, we are seeing today that that's not the case. Workers are being paid on time, twice per month, the 15th of the month and the 30th of the month. Sometimes a little before the 15th, sometimes a little before the 30th. And look, no system is perfect. There will be little teething issues and hiccups and little problems. But generally speaking, over time, it will be better. It will improve. But so far, it's holding up nicely where people are getting paid twice per month. Right? But that was a campaign promise. So the NDC is fulfilling their promises to the electorate. And that is what you want, you know. You want a political party who comes to you and say, these are the things I will do once you vote for me. And if you vote for them, if you vote for that party, you're looking forward to seeing them deliver on the things they say they will do. The NDC so far, they have held true to that. Remember under the NNP, they would come and say all kind of old stupidness during the campaign, and then they don't deliver, and they come back and they say all kind of old stupidness again, and they catch the people and they keep doing that over and over and over. Now we have a level of accountability. They say that they will do X, Y, and Z, and they're doing just that. And I love it. I really love it. But here it is. The NDC so far has given workers a lot of hope. And I heard a policeman, he said, Kem Jones, well, what are they giving us? Because the doctors got $1,000 more. That's $12,000 for the year 2024. The nurses, $500 more. That's $6,000 for 2024. The Imani trainees, $500 more. That's $6,000 for 2024. Those who are receiving the poor relief assistance, $200 more. At least once you're 65 years and older and you have, you know, disability or mental challenges and so on. So then the police officers now, because the NNP out there pushing this idea that, look, the police officers didn't get this and didn't get that. But hear this. The police officers only recently got 13% increase in their salary. But not only that, they were able to get fringe benefits, the allowances and all the different things like that. And they were not getting that under the NNP. The NNP never entertained fringe benefits of the police officers. At no time. Under the NDC, they are getting that. Fringe benefits, they were able to negotiate for that and get that under the NDC. So the NDC cannot give everybody everything, right? They can't. They're giving public servants 25% bonus. The police will get, the nurses will get, the teachers will get, public servants generally will get the 25%, right? And that will cost government a good fortune. But I am saying all of this to say you can rally with the NDC because they mean well. They want good for you. And you're seeing it happening before your very eyes. So you have to start thinking about, you know, let's put the NNP up here and the NDC up here. And ask yourself which one of them you are better off under or with as a worker, as a public servant, as a Grenadian. You have a situation where Grenadians who are on government land for more than 10 years, you can now get title to the land, your plan and your deed, giving you a piece of your own land, right? Your country is giving you that. so you can at least pass it down to your next generation. Right? This is very, very important. You have also people who are renting, but they cannot get pipe-borne water. They can't, because the person who they're renting from don't want any pipe on their property, because they fear if that person then pay, they would have to pay. What the government did is to go to the parliament and say, no, everybody is entitled to water. Water is life. Water is a human right. So that law now gives NAWASA permission to give a person water in their name, and they don't have to rely on the landowner or the person you're renting from or leasing from. So you're paying your bill on your name. This is a big thing, people. This is big. So the NDC cares about people. You see the JUMP program, where people without internet access, without internet in their home, or households without internet, you're getting internet. You're getting a laptop computer and you're getting the training. And then you have people without bathroom and toilet, indoor bathroom and toilet facility. NDC is providing indoor bathroom and toilet facility for our people, giving them dignity again. So no longer do they have to go in the pit latrine and so on. So NDC cares about our people. They're replanting our spices, the nutmeg, the clove, the cinnamon, the sapot, they're replanting our spices. And I see they're going on a turmeric drive now. So they're doing a lot for our people. I saw this morning while I was going through the internet, while I was on the internet, young people again getting grant aid, grant assistance to enhance their business when it comes to community tourism and so on. So things are happening for our people. The CES program, 500 plus people benefited from that program, where they got grant money up to $30,000, money that they don't have to pay back, money that the government gave to them so that they can expand their business, so that they can create opportunities for themselves and others. Folks, the NDC cares about you, and what I want to urge you to do is to rally with them, support them. The NNP is out there criticizing. Anybody could criticize. Anybody could comment. Anybody could. But it takes a visionary to get the job done. It takes somebody who is focused and who is, working with a plan to get these things done, to deliver to the Grenadian people. And that is what we're seeing with the NDC. They're focused. They're a group of visionaries working for the betterment of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. And we have to rally with them. We have to support them. The NNP will always condemn. The NNP will always be out there attacking the NDC verbally, because the NNP is stuck in the past. They believe by them continuing to attack, to criticize, to condemn the NDC, they will somehow find their way back into government. That is what they believe. But Grenadians are no longer existing in that kind of mindset, in that place. Grenadians want good for Grenada. Grenadians are more knowledgeable of current affairs, of what's happening. Look, for example, a young man said to me yesterday, he took time to go and research the Samoa Agreement. And he realized that 79 countries signed this agreement, because it was an agreement with the European Union and 79 countries. All of them signed. So the NNP is out there talking about the Samoa Agreement and Grenada signed, well, 79 countries around the world did. All 79 who is a part of this whole treaty or agreement with the EU. So you telling me that Grenada is the smartest not to sign? Or Grenada is X, Y, and Z. That is why they sign? Well, the other people, the other countries, they did the same thing. And there's nothing wrong with the agreement. Nothing wrong. We are in 2023. There's nothing wrong with human rights and protecting people and their rights. No. But I am, again, pointing this out because you have young people who are researching, who are checking up these things. They no longer take NNP word for it. No. They no longer just run with what NNP says. They're now able to research stuff and get to know things. They follow in the debates. They follow in the budget presentation. They getting to know what is happening in the country. So NNP is still stuck at that place where they believe they're on radio, they're on social media, and they bump in their gum. They believe that people are going to listen and support them with their rubbish. It's not happening. Grenadians want good for Grenada. Look at the amount of people who went to the T20 match between West Indies and England. You know, there was a time when the NNP used to say, well, only Keats that could have brought, cricket or bring cricket to the country. And it can only be successful if he's there. Remember there was a time when they used to say that? We saw 2 successful T20 matches. And very soon, the stadium will undergo repairs and it will be lit. So we will get night crickets. We will get, T20s during the night time soon. So the government is at work. They're not joking. They're at work. It's just a different team of men and women. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to be in the presence of the Prime Minister and his constituents. And the DJ man went on to say, this is the first time a Prime Minister comes to an event, speaks briefly, and remain for almost the entire night at that event, socializing, mixing and mingling with people, with his constituents. It's just a different thing. You would see our beloved Prime Minister going to a funeral, for example, and he don't just go to the funeral, show his face, and just walk out. Before time, that is what existed before, where the previous Prime Minister also, he would just go to the event because it's the politics or a funeral, and he will just walk out. So he goes there just to show his face and just leave. And then the family now saying, well, he passed, he come, and they're happy. But here you have a Prime Minister who is staying with them, mixing, mingling, trying to bring some level of comfort to them. And that is what you want. And that is what we have been seeing from our beloved Prime Minister in the last 16, 17 months. And we have to acknowledge that. We have to commend that because that's rare. It don't happen everywhere and all the time. But we have a Prime Minister that's doing that. That he's leading by example. He's just modest, just simple. And that is what you want in a Prime Minister. Simple, humble, but focused. Getting the job done very effectively so. So we have to commend the NDC for doing the work that they are doing, and the entire team of men and women, they are doing an excellent, excellent job. If you follow them on social media, you realize that they've upped their game, their PR game, and the more and more people are seeing what they're doing, experiencing it, and that is what you want. That is exactly what you want. So folks, I want to thank you for being a part of the program. this morning, I want to wish you all the best. I will be back with you tonight in the hub, starting from 8 in the PM. Let us remain focused. Let us continue to defend our party, promote our party, defend our government, and promote our government. Normally around this time, I would take a break, but I'm not doing so because the enemy is not taking any break. They continue to attack. They continue to misinform the general public. So what we have to do is to stand at the gap for our party and our government by disseminating credible information to our people and debunking, for want of a better word, the lies, the disinformation that the NNP is putting out there. So we have to remain focused, keep our eyes on the prize, and do what we got to do because our country depends on that. Take good care. Have a wonderful day. I'll be back with you.